What's going on, everyone? Dalt here with Lee C Parts in the Scrap Life Garage. What I have behind me here is a lineup of Corvettes. If you guys are just tuning in for the first time, this should be a fun one. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it and you'll consider subscribing, sharing, definitely like and comment. And for the returning viewers, this is going to be maybe a little bit different, so I think it should be cool all around. If you follow the Lee C Parts page on Instagram, you know that we do the camera knot challenges. We've been doing them for years, and we get cars from auction and we have the followers on Instagram guess whether it has a camera knot. So what I have here is I've done that same thing. Normally we do one car and it's just a yes or no. This one showcases 3 cars. One of these cars has a cam, one and only one. We're gonna go through, we're gonna clean them up. This car was absolutely filthy. Someone did some off-roading with this, and not the best choice in car to do it with. This car was kind of like the main showcase of the video to start with, given that it has the blower on it. And then we have a nice little LS3 auto car on the end that is the curveball. Put in your guesses. There's not going to be a poll popped up like there would be on Instagram, but go ahead and put in your guess for which car you think is going to have the cam, and you can wait until I highlight all the mods on each car. At some point in this video, you're going to hear every single one of them run, and you're going to get to know which one of these has a cam. Car number 1 is the Z07 package Z06 here, and this car, besides being completely filthy dirty, I just spent like a half an hour power washing this thing, and luckily it is a beautiful day today. One of the last days we're going to get that's going to be this nice probably, and this thing cleaned up quite nicely. As far as for the mods, this one has absolutely nothing. This car looks completely bone stock. I don't see anything that says that it has any sort of modification whatsoever. The interior is, the dash is completely trashed on this thing. Does have nice looking door panels though, as this is a nicer interior package. We just got to clean them up really good. Did have to throw a steering wheel on it. For whatever reason, it didn't have a steering wheel. So seats look to be in pretty good condition. Moving around to the back, again, just totally bone stock buy modes. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to fire this thing up, and we're going to see what this sounds like. I think this one, though, might be the obvious choice to not have a cam, though. All right, my idiot brother is jumping in to fire her up.
Floor it?
Floor it. As expected, this thing is a bone stock LS7, which sounds absolutely phenomenal with the mufflers open, which they are right now.
America.
Ooh, big turbo smart ball valve right there.
Funny is I could have used that.
You have the same one?
Is it the
Plumb back?
Oh no, that is not the same one. No, I got the big boy, the Bubba or something like that.
What?
Did you get your hand down to the
Stock crank bolt.
stock crank bolt? Factory head bolts.
So the headers, the American Racing, they're coated and everything though.
Dang, it's got Corsas on the back. The intercooler is damaged. It's really not too bad, but what we noticed was there was some water in it. So we went ahead and took off the entire intercooler. You can see what actually came out of it because of that crack. And went ahead, we got the front end cut off of this thing, and that way we can get everything out of the way. This is an old R8 filter for the turbos, so we put that on the end just to get a filter on it because the math's up there, so this thing should run fine. And we'll let the blower itself push any little bit of water that's left in that system on the lower side out before we hook anything else up. This thing has a V3 blower on it, which is a small one. It's actually smaller than the one that I had on the FD. I was very worried because this car being a 427 with a blower, I was kind of concerned that I'd get it and get the itch to fix it. And as you saw when we cut this frame is heavily kinked. And you can see the damage all the way back to there. So you know, for the people that see some of these cars and like, oh man, that's totally fixable. I mean, it is, but you can see obviously this thing has some heavy damage to it. But it is a very, very nice car overall. I'm excited to get this thing fired up here in a minute and see what it sounds like. All right, so before we fire up the Supercharged Z06, I have to give you guys the rundown on the curveball here. So these are the last two. You got a 50% chance as long as you didn't guess the Z07 car, which if you did, you're not really good at this game. Let's just be honest. It's all for fun, but these are the two cars you should be picking between. So you got a 50% chance at this point, and this is the curveball. And you might be looking at this thing like, man, it doesn't look like much of a curveball. Stock intake, stock exhaust manifolds. All this car has on it as far as mods go is it has a straight over the axle catback exhaust. But what it does have is it has a aftermarket 12-point crank pulley bolt, and the front cover has been off of this thing. So I don't know if that's, you know, enough to make you think that that's the cam car versus this thing, but we are going to fire this thing up real quick. You guys have seen the mods on this, and we're going to see which one is the cam car. Sounds like it's got an exhaust leak. Give it a little bit. Yeah, get your beard down there so I can see it blowing. Oh shit! On point. Ah, give me a rev back here. Sounds like a jet engine with that pipe off. Hey, do it again.
You think it'll do a burnout, Austin?
Oh, I'm planning on doing a burnout with it. So this here is the curveball. If you made it all the way to this point and you haven't heard a cammed LS, that obviously means that this is the only one that's left. This has to be the cam car. Or I've just been messing with you guys this whole time, which would have been pretty funny actually if I played it that way and this thing didn't have a cam. But if I'm gonna guess, the majority of people probably thought that the blower car was the one with the cam. And this one is indeed the one with the cam. Let me see if I can get a look. You got the 12-point crank bolt, and if you can peek all the way back there, you see some red RTV around the front cover. So from the top, this thing looks very unassuming, and you would pretty much never guess that it had a cam. It looks like it's literally just a catback. And that's what I was telling you guys. It has just a straight over catback, basically factory mid pipe. It's an auto car, really not a lot to make you think that this would be the car with the cam. But we are gonna put it down here, we're gonna fire it up, and we're gonna let y'all hear it. Yeah, Fernando was just trying to get me too. I'm falling for it.
He's
Yeah.
gotta- he's
I
gotta
don't believe you guys.
understand-
There's nothing on my face.
doesn't-
Hit me with it.
Nice dents on both sides.
Dents on both sides.
It, like caved it in.
Okay.
So that was from hitting the frame rail.
Okay, let's see. Where was it hitting?
Right here.
Yeah, rub marks. Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Put them on backwards.
They put them on the wrong side?
Thought is like they're flopped.
Well, so the tips, yeah, because the tips are offset, yeah.
Well, they're off. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
look
you
at
can
the
see how.
inlets are offset. The inlets are offset.
You're right. All right, so as we are diving into this thing a little bit deeper, we are finding some stuff that is maybe making us think that this car might have been maybe a blower car, which would explain why it has a cam and is mainly stock appearing. So we're finding a bunch of wiring. On the top of the steering wheel, there are some holes already drilled in it, like somebody maybe mounted some gauges to it, which would maybe make sense. Apparently, you said the manifold bolts are loose.
All the header bolts are loose.
So you haven't touched them.
I haven't not touched those.
Yeah, you can see that second one there. It's like visibly loose.
Both of those, this one.
Okay.
Two of them over on that side are missing.
Two are missing. Okay. So that is a little bit interesting. And then the MAF harness is extended, which if this thing had to get down,
This guy.
which is the map sensor.
Yep. Manifold pressures. Extended.
Interesting. Very
This
interesting.
has got the cutout for the.
I noticed that because and then it had the stock intake, which isn't modified at all.
Nope.
Alrighty, so we are out here and we are continuing to find little things to try and put the story together on this car. So there were two trans bolts missing. Where? At the front of the back? Back there?
This guy.
Those.
And then this guy up here was.
Okay, so it's not even like they were like, but the top ones were there.
Yeah.
So those are the ones that are hard to get to. So you'd think that if anything was going to be left, that would be it.
It's got brand new axle grease on the.
Oh yeah, check that out. Okay. This is not a factory crank pulley, which is what we were thinking. We just couldn't see the timing marks on it at the beginning. Yeah. So, yeah, it's kind of all signs are pointing more and more to the fact that this thing had a blower on it. Because again, I mean, if it had like a built trans or something, then yeah, that would make sense. Yeah. Why they would go through the effort of swapping it. But you know, like we were saying, like I doubt that this thing had like some awesome converter in it that was worth the trouble of grabbing out of it.
If they were putting that much power down, that it would need the built trans. I mean, possibly.
I mean, who knows? Like you said, it might have had a built trans or whatever. What's also really interesting is this was either gone through by like a shop or somebody that had a completely factory car, or they literally kept all the factory parts and had them laying around because it has everything. Alrighty, and just like that, the Corvettes are apart. They're headed off to the scrapyard. That's going to do it for this video. Just like that, the weather here in Maryland also changed from 70 and sunny to 40 and sunny. So I'm going to be filming from inside now because it's cold and I'm not ready for this yet. So certainly let us know in the comments, everybody, what you thought about the video here. If you like the format of the Camera Knot Challenge, having multiple options, if you like just kind of the yes or no like we traditionally do it on Instagram. Also let us know down in the comments if you guessed correctly. Maybe you were disappointed that it wasn't the blower car that had the camera knot. Certainly just let us know what you guys think about the videos, and we always enjoy hearing the feedback. We're gonna have a little bit of a break here coming up, and right after that Alex and Lee are gonna be back at it with the Black Friday special. So Alex picked up a really cool car that they're going to be going to pick up Thanksgiving weekend, and they're going to be bringing it onto the channel at the beginning of the following week. So enjoy the time around the holidays with your family. We're going to do the same, and we're going to see you guys in the next video.